Okay, I do not know what happened. I don't know if you guys are gonna find me or not. And it was just getting interesting. I'm trying. I don't even see it coming up on here for some odd reason. Maybe I got too much, stuff going on here. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so who found me? I don't know what happened. It just died. It just dropped, and I couldn't get it to. Hi, Jolie. So you found me, my OG. Uh, I don't know what happened. It just completely died, and then I couldn't restart it. So I'm over here. We'll see if anybody else comes over or not. Trying to see the old one. Oh yeah, see what happens with the old one. I have to go in and like edit it and all kind of shit. I have to like, hey, Kinky Streets, you found me. Good. I don't know what happened. The thing just went black. Hey, Kenneth. It just went dark, and then I couldn't get it to reboot or whatever. So I just started from scratch. So I'm glad you guys were able to find me, okay, and we can pick up where we left off, perhaps, here at the Exxon Valdez. No, this is not Exxon Valdez. This is just Exxon gas station, truck, dirt lot. As you can see, the activity going on there. Lots of it's getting to be probably lunchtime, so you're gonna see some guys coming in and they're gonna park and they're gonna go get lunch, stuff like that. Things of the nature and things of that nature. So yeah, I was just talking about where I left off is the double standards about now they're bringing up Jameis Winston. They were talking about Colin Kaepernick, how he took a knee for a cause that he believed in. It was a righteous cause about police brutality on basically on unarmed black men and others, and he gets drummed out of the league. And you would think that the world was coming to an end the way that some of these people were carrying on about it. Uh, Brett Favre embezzles $5 million and barely a peep. Brett Favre is in the Hall of Fame. Of course, he's retired, so they can't do anything about like his playing, but his bust will remain in the Hall of Fame. Probably right, even though he's a crook. I wonder, did they take O.J. Simpson's bust out of the Hall of Fame? They should have. They should have taken anything of his that's in the Hall of Fame. They should have taken it out, in my humble opinion. And I was a big O.J. Simpson fan back in the day. Just saying. Just saying. I got 3 notifications. What's that all about? What's it all about? Alfie. Oh, it's like this because it says I got a new login from a new account. Yeah, because I haven't logged in on this laptop in who knows how many years. So it says that if this was you, you could ignore this message. There's no need to take action. I will do that. I will ignore it because I know that was me. It was me. It was I. It was I. Hey, admin flag girl 38 liked one of my tweets. I guess it was the tweet about the YouTube show. But did she ever come on? Did she ever? I didn't see her in the chat. Admin flag girl 38. Why you didn't? You liked my tweet, but you didn't go on. Now I feel hurt. I feel really hurt. It hurts. Relevant people. Why does it have relevant people and it has? I mean, I realize I'm relevant, but this is my Twitter page and it has me as being relevant people. That's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm having a hard time finding what's trending. I see what's happening. I guess what's happening is what's trending. But see, on my iPad, when I go on Twitter, it'll have like for you. That's what's trending, like specifically for you. And then right next to that, they have like just trending. For me, I get to set it for the United States. It just says what's trending in the United States. And I don't see that option here. So I'm assuming, I don't know, who to follow. That's just weird. It's a weird setup. Rocky Mountain Mike had a funny tweet. Let's see, what does his tweet say? I don't even know if it's funny. I said funny automatically. So here's what Rocky Mountain Mike says. I don't think today's music snobs would be so down on bread if they had just released more gluten-free tracks. Of Rocky Mountain. I'm gonna heart that one. I'm hearting that one, Rocky Mountain Mike. Oh boy, bread. I remember bread when they were, current. I didn't like them all that much then. I don't like them now. I'm sorry. Sorry, Rocky Mountain Mike. Okay, so this is kind of bad news. Should we click on this story about Abbott widening his lead? Is that fucking true? Is that even true? Should we trust that? Should we? Look, I'm gonna look at the chat. Chat, what do you think? Yeah, that's Andrea. Was she in the chat, Jolie? She liked my tweet, tweet, but she didn't. I don't think she came in to the live stream, and that hurt me. But anyhow, this is the Houston Chronicle story, and it says Greg Abbott's lead is widening. That's fucked up. Over Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke, according to a Spectrum News Siena College poll of likely voters released Thursday. So, and then, see, I don't know how you actually get to, I guess that's the story down there. So, well, we always knew that was going to be tough sledding in Texas to beat the Republican. But you would think after Uvalde and other mishaps, of course, power grid mishaps, that there just might be there might be enough Texans wanting to change and get someone in there better than fucking asshole Greg Abbott. So I'll click on the Houston Chronicle article. So today, class, we'll be going over this. You can take notes if you like. They have a picture of a bunch of weirdos. Go home, Beto. Don't tax churches. Okay, whatever. Hey, look, if you want to preach politics from the pulpit, then you should lose your taxes and status. I think that's probably what Beto was talking about. Don't twist it, old man, with the sign back there in the background. Okay, so it says, so they were talking about that poll, the Spectrum News Siena College poll of likely voters. It's the second poll this week to show Republicans gaining ground ahead of November midterm elections, months after the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade sent shockwaves through the country and inspired a wave of left-leaning activism. Okay, let me reread that. It's the second poll this week to show Republicans gaining ground ahead of November midterm election. I'm calling bullshit because look at Kansas. Look at the other, we've had some other elections come in that kind of defied the polls. I think you can throw these polls out the fucking window right now because I don't know who they're polling, how they're polling. If they're just polling people on landlines, then you're probably just getting a bunch of old people that are they're just Fox News watchers. Anyhow, so I don't. We'll see. We'll see. And then the other thing is, I don't know about these newspapers and that they're just they want to have that. You know, they want to get the ratings or whatever. They want to sell newspapers or get clicks. It's kind of like clickbait, you know. So the Siena poll showed Abbott up 50-43 over O'Rourke, and other statewide candidates had similar gaps. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, another piece of shit, was up 49-40 over Democrat Mike Collier. Attorney General Ken Paxton had a 47-42 lead over Democrat Rochelle Garza. All I can say is, people, get out and vote. Get out and vote. Overwhelm the polls and defy these polls here. Governor Abbott, who won a landslide 13-point race against Democratic challenger Lupe Valdez 4 years ago, has a 7-point lead over 6 weeks until Election Day. Abbott has the support of 95% of Republicans, and O'Rourke has the support of 93% of Democrats, while independents tilt toward Abbott by 1 point. White voters favor Abbott by over 2-1, while black voters prefer O'Rourke 79-10. Count me in as a black voter, then. I'm proud to be a black voter. The majority of Latinos, 58-36%, plan to vote for O'Rourke. So it's the goddamn fucking white assholes. Old white fucking assholes. They have to have that Republican dick. They just can't get enough Republican dick, you know? The poll also indicated that Texas voters may consider immigration a more important issue than abortion. About 31% of respondents said immigration was their top concern ahead of the midterms, while 22% said the same for abortion. So that was 31% of respondents. So that's everybody. That's not just Republican or Democrat. 31% of respondents said immigration was their top concern. And so I guess they think that sending asylum seekers to Florida so that right-wing nutbag governor can send those people up to Martha's Vineyard, they think that is somehow solving their immigration issue. You know, when asked to rank their top 2 issues, though, the numbers evened out. 13% said immigration was their first or second choice. It was 12% for abortion. Texas overwhelmingly considered the economy and inflation their highest priority. The data comes as Abbott and other Republicans have sharpened their focus on border security in the lead up to November, as Texas sees a record number of migrant encounters this year. Yeah, this year. And as House Sparks always tells us, year over year. What was going on last year? We were still in a pandemic. We were still on lockdowns and all that kind of shit. So of course the numbers are going to go up this year. Okay? Jolie, there might be a quiz. Be ready. There might be a pop quiz. Yes, King Street, Kansas. Exactly what I said. Did I say Kansas? I did say Kansas, right? Anyhow, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Now this says Abbott's critics have criticized the program. Oh, so that was I think I skipped a paragraph. They were talking about the thing that I just talked about Abbott has been busing thousands of migrants out of Texas and dropping them off in Washington, D.C., New York City, and Chicago in what he has described as an attempt to show President Joe Biden how grave the situation on the border is. Okay, so Abbott's critics have criticized the program as a stunt that uses human beings as political pawns. Yes, Greg Abbott is a human trafficker. Border control, immigration is a federal responsibility. It's not his job. So it's totally a stunt. That's all it is a stunt. And his old white base there with their stupid signs are lapping that shit up, apparently. This says, I think this might be the last paragraph. Polls are a good tool to gauge public opinion ahead of an election, but they are not predictors of electoral outcomes. So it's like a disclaimer, I guess. Sienna's polls, which statistically adjusted its results for age, race, regional vote pattern, and other markers, has a 4.4 point margin of error. That seems kind of high to me. Isn't it usually like 3? Okay, so to all of my Texas viewers, I know there's millions of you out there. You're just hiding. You're hiding. Make sure you vote.org. Make sure you're registered. Go to vote.org. I think yesterday wasn't that National Voter Registration Checkup Day. But that's not just a one-day thing. Just keep checking. Make sure you're registered and you're good to go, so you can get out there and vote. Let's get the vote out. The higher the numbers of people voting, I think the better chances that the Democrats will have. So that's why I'm just telling everybody, vote, 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 vote. It would be nice to get Abbott out of there. It would be nice, I think, to turn, Texas. I'm old enough to remember when Texas had Democratic governors. I'm old enough to remember when Arizona had Democratic governors. I'm old enough. Well, I don't know if I remember when Florida had Democratic governor, but I'm sure they did. My point is that there's these states like Florida and Texas and Arizona that have gone sort of batshit crazy, right-wing crazy, that used to be blue. There's no reason why they can't return to being at least purple. At this point, I'll settle for purple. Yes, Ann Richards. I remember her. She passed away recently, I think, in the last couple of years. But I remember Ann Richards. So my point is, it's not impossible that some of these states could start coming back to reason. They don't have to be, just because it's been red for the past 20 years or whatever, doesn't mean we can't flip it back. And it all comes down to turnout. It's all about the turnout. So get involved. Our voting is very powerful. That's probably the most powerful thing that you have. And you don't even know it. You don't even, people take it for granted, or they just say, oh, because they voted one time and the guy they wanted or whatever, the person they wanted didn't win, then they're like, ah, see, it doesn't work. Well, look, it doesn't work that way. It works when you get the, it starts, it's like the first, to fill up a bucket of water, it starts with that first drop, right? And it's drop, 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 drop. We need to keep filling that bucket up with drops. We're all little drops. We're all little droplets in the bucket, in the big blue Democratic bucket. All right? We're not going to fill the bucket up if we stay in the spigot. It's probably a horrible analogy. I don't know. I'm doing this on the fly, people. Doing it on the fly. I'm making up I never heard that analogy. I just made that one up. Cause I'm in my groove. I'm in a groove right now with analogies about voting and drops, being a drop in a bucket. You want to fill that bucket? You want to fill that big blue Democratic bucket up in November? Then you got to vote. If you're up there in the spigot, then we're not going to fill the bucket. Get it? Do you get it? Don't stay in the spigot. Don't you stay in that spigot. Don't be some little spigot person. Be a bucket person. I'm a bucket person. I'm jumping out of that spigot. I'm gonna jump out of that spigot. I'm gonna get out of that spigot, damn it. And I'm gonna go right into that bucket. And I'm gonna fill that bucket. I don't know where that came from. Fill the bucket. Fill up the bucket, people. The big blue bucket of democracy. Wow. So, anywho, Wes Webb's in the house. Hello there, Wes Webb. Glad to see you. Glad to see you joined. I'm going to read your tweet. No, not your tweet, but your chat. Whatever we call it. What are we calling it? Our chatter. We're going to read your chatter. My church had a schism over politics. United Methodist versus U.S. versus United Methodist International. Well, that happens. You get a schism. I've had a schism. Believe me, I've had some schisms. It ain't pleasant. It is not pleasant. Thank God for antibiotics. Anywho, fill the big blue bucket up, people. Voting is your most important power that you got. But if you just are up in the pipes, up in the pipes up there, then what good are you? Then what good are you, I say? What good are you if you're up there in the pipes? You need to get out of the pipes, through the spigot, and down into the bucket. Get into the bucket. I'm gonna keep riding that. I'm gonna beat that horse to death. I can tell already. The spigot horse. So there's just more articles about Abbott and securing the border. It's all bullshit. He knows it's a Fox talking point, and it's low-hanging fruit, and those old stupid white guys with the sign that says, is holding the sign up that says about his church. Let me go back up here. This stupid old guy. Oh, I don't have it now. But yeah, they envision all this shit. You know what? Hey, it's you old white guys. Stop hiring undocumented workers. You're the problem. You old white motherfuckers that own businesses. You're the ones that are enticing everyone to come up here, and you don't care about paperwork. You don't care about status. All you care about is paying them under the table for $5 an hour with no benefits, and then you can hold that over their head, and you could just kick them out on the street and let them get picked up by ICE or whatever, So the problem is the Greg Abbott and his followers. They're the problem. You want to solve the problem? Get rid of Greg Abbott. Stupid assholes. There I go with the name calling. Sorry. Oh well. Sometimes I gotta let loose, man. Otherwise, I'll have schisms and. Whoo! Actually, a schism might relieve that. But yeah. So let's go back. Enough of that Greg Abbott shit. Um, I think that it's gonna be a tough road to hoe. I'm not gonna try to paint some rosy picture and say that Beto O'Rourke is gonna win. It's gonna be a tough one, but I don't think he's out of it. He's not out of it, people. He's not out of it. So just make sure that you vote. Make sure you're registered. I'll just keep saying this too. Vote.org. Check your registration. Make sure you're registered. Get registered. You still got time. Make sure that you can vote when it's time to vote. And someday I'm going to get a new computer that actually has Twitter trends on it because I'm not seeing it on this relic. But I do like. Look, you can see my Star Wars sticker. It's like a stormtrooper kind of thing. At least I got that going for me. At least that's kind of cool. What's Web? How far back are we? I'm seeing a comment about bread that I made about 15 minutes ago. Is there a big lag? Is there a big time lag? From what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing? I don't know. Maybe you're just catching up. Maybe you scrolled up. That's what you did. You probably scrolled up and then you were just catching up. I appreciate that. Texas has the nation's worst abortion laws. Texas is majority Hispanic, and the Hispanics, according to that we read, they were majority in favor of Beto. It was only the stupid old white guys. The blacks were voting for Beto, like 70-10 or whatever it was. Hispanics was a majority. I forget their number, but it was over 50%, I think. It was just the stupid old white people. They want to have an old white governor. God damn it! We're not going to have some guy with some funny name who says that the churches should be taxed. God damn it! We're going to keep our old white guy in there because God damn it, he knows how to handle immigration. He sends them over to Washington D.C. God damn it! But God damn it, don't you dare tax my church, God damn it. That's probably what they say. I'm just paraphrasing or speculating, maybe, to some extent. Okay, so let's see. I guess I'll just go through my main thread here. There's a Dodgers thing. A guy threw a ball. Some guy named Brown threw a ball to Justin Turner, and they're like hugging. They're like hugging and stuff at the Dodger Stadium, and then there's like some sort of mascot that's waving, and some girls, and he threw a ball at Dodger Stadium. Maggie Hassan, Doc Bolduc wants you to get over the threat of nationwide abortion ban. Retweet if you're not over it. I'll retweet that. Wait, what? Retweet if you're not over it. The threat. Let me read that again. Make sure I'm on the right side of this one. It says whoever Don Bolduc is, I have no fucking idea, wants you to get over the threat of a nationwide abortion ban. Oh, retweet if you're not over it. Yeah, I'm not over that. So I'm going to retweet it. Are you guys on board with me? You guys going to retweet that? Can we as a group, as a Trucker John channel live stream group, can we all get on board with that? I'm just saying. So then on my feed here, there's something about a new Alejandro G. Inarritu movie. You know, the guy who made The Revenant, I believe. So there's a trailer for that. It's probably excellent because that guy makes excellent movies. I love his movies. Here's a picture of Clayton Kershaw with his shirt off, holding a bottle of, I think, hot sauce. So we get that. Brooklyn Dad Defiant says arrest is yet to come. That was 24 hours ago. There's some Disney Plus stuff on here. So 5 hours ago, did you guys hear the news? This says breaking news, but it was 5 hours ago. The Justice Department launches a criminal investigation into Trumper. Oh, Mike Pillow. I think I did hear this morning on Stephanie Miller's show. Into Mike Pillow CEO Mike Lindell over his breaching of a Colorado voting system in an attempt to try to help Trump steal Biden's win. Retweet if you think that Mike Lindell must be locked up. I'm going to retweet that because I believe Mike Pillow should be locked up. So I'm retweeting. Are you guys going to retweet that too? Anywho, yeah, so here's the deal. This lady who was some sort of chairman of the Republican Party in Colorado, she goes in, she steals a guy's ID in order to get into this room. She had another guy come in, some sort of IT guy, apparently. I guess they were looking at the voting machines, or they were up to some sort of chicane. Mike Lindell, Mike Pillow, otherwise known as, you in big trouble, motherfucker, because you just are an accessory after the fact, as far as I'm concerned, and you helped someone escape the authorities. And I think you crossed state lines, all kinds of shit. So, dude, you are fucked. Now, here's a question if you're a Dodger fan. This is from Dodger Nation. And this is, I'm only bringing this up because I thought this myself. Here's the question. Should the Dodgers have called up James Outman? Answer, yes! Moving on. Here's one from Biden 16 hours ago. He says he approved an expedited major disaster declaration for Puerto Rico in the wake of the devastation caused by Hurricane Fiona. I will continue to ensure a full force of federal government is mobilized to support the people of Puerto Rico. And he'll be sending Donald Trump there to throw paper towels. I just had to get some sort of paper towel joke in there, sorry. People who don't, this is from Rocky Mountain Mike. People who don't think Trump has the power to declassify something have never seen his apartment. Boom, boom. I'll give that a heart. I'm not going to retweet. I have my standards. Sorry, Mike. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. Whatever. So, West Webb says, need to spend the most money on a black electorate, but don't give up on anybody. Hillary and Romney both made that mistake. Yeah, I think Hillary, man, I can't blame Hillary, though. I think everybody, even I, thought she had it in the bag. It was so, I remember they were saying, like, she had a 99% chance of winning, and poll after poll had her so far ahead. The polls were so wrong. You know, it's just, that was the weirdest thing, man. Weirdest thing. And again, you can go back to Paul Manafort selling, I think it was Manafort, maybe Bannon, selling their campaign polling information. Their very specific polling information that gets very, very precise. And they're selling that to Russia. And Russia, and probably like things like Cambridge Analytica, things like that, being able to pinpoint these areas where they could plant the seeds of doubt and with misinformation, and they were able to get people to either just give up and not vote, or people who would normally vote for Democrats to flip and vote for Trump. And that's what we mean by Russian involvement. That's what they did, and they knew how to pinpoint these areas just to turn enough votes in these states, these battleground states, so that by a total of we've heard that number, what is it, 70,000 people or whatever, is what made the difference in those districts to get those electoral votes and all that, and that's what got the election for Trump. I never seen anything like that before in what happened in 2016. So yeah, see, Wes, I'm seeing you just now saying, hey, so there must be one hell of a delay going on between what I'm saying, between the words coming out of my mouth and what you guys are seeing. I don't know, because that thing about being a dead horse, I think I said that like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, and it looks like the feed looks really choppy. West Webb, I'm an old black guy too. I mean, I'm not an old black guy. I'm an old white guy. Within a Freudian slip, I don't know. I'm an old white guy. Um, and I'm not talking about hiring your gardeners. I'm talking about industries. I'm talking about the farming industry that hires migrant workers in mass, to pick crops and things. I'm talking about um, meat packing plants and chicken processing plants, you know, or even big hotel chains that hire lots of, immigrants and probably lots of undocumented, you know. I mean, it's not just, so I wasn't just talking about a person hiring gardener, but the point is that by not enforcing laws about the people who hire, instead of just just blaming the people who are coming here, then I think we're always going to have that problem. It's always going to keep recirculating. It is that recidivism that Hal Sparks talks about. So that's why we need comprehensive immigration reform, so that we can ensure that when people come up here, and they're just coming up here to work, there are things called work visas, and there are these other different forms and things. We need to make sure that people are able to get their work visas in a timely manner, and that the people that are doing the hiring, and I'm not talking about a guy getting his lawn cut, I'm talking about businesses and big businesses, and we need to make sure they have actually like hiring departments, probably. They have um, that's what's bringing the people up here, these jobs, all these jobs. We need to make sure that they're hiring correctly, and that they are getting the work visas or whatever other forms they need. And I think that the process of that needs to be Yeah, 'cause I'm not sure exactly what the problems are. I heard that there are backlogs, and I don't know, but if you made sure that okay, Kinky Streets, I answered your question about Ken Burns already. Did, and I thought you responded to that with a thumbs up. Because Kinky Streets asked, why does Hal dislike Ken Burns? Question mark. Um, I've already answered that. Very asked that question again. Uh, West Webb asked, how big is my laptop? Well, it's this big. It's this big. As far as like technical questions, I will not I cannot answer because I don't know. Not Kinky Street Nazis spread massive propaganda in USA during World War II, paying for media people to spread word FDR is Jewish. Yeah, but that's different than what I was talking about with that pinpointing, very precisely pinpointing specific areas to inundate with internet um, spam or whatever. Kiki Streets likes the Ken Burns Holocaust documentary. Uh, Kiki Street says you did. I didn't see your answer. Well, I thought I saw you do a thumbs up. Maybe not, but go back if you can. If not, I'll just answer it again. So West says Kiki Streets, they spread all sorts of rumors because they're talking about the Nazi thing again, World War II. I think. Wait, the Lincoln was Jewish or black and never knew Christians are so insecure. Um, well, that's a pretty broad brush you're painting with there, Kinky. Anyhow, as far as the thing about how and his comments on Ken Burns, I just remember he said something about um, he just thought he was overrated. That he's just basically does all these pans and zooms and of still photos, and he didn't really see what was so great about it. And he said something to the effect where it seemed like Burns, in a kind of roundabout way, I guess, would somehow blame liberals for a problem. There was some sort of a way of blaming liberals, but in this sort of sneaky kind of way. I don't know. If you look back about on his show, I think it might have been the 18th or 19th. I think that's where I'm getting that from. So if you want to go back, watch one of his shows. Well, 96% of Nazis claimed to be Christians during World War II. 96%, yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm not getting those thumbs ups, Wes Webb. What's up with that? Where's my thumbs ups, man? I gave myself a thumbs up just now. Because so anyhow, there's I don't know. Is the feed coming through okay? Because I'm seeing it looks kind of weird and choppy to me, or it looks like it's in slow motion. Can you guys see me okay? I mean, is it coming through okay? Because I'm looking at the feed on my iPhone, and it looks weird. Well, it's starting to rain again. It's the little sprinkles. We're getting some sprinkles out here in Colorado, just about 30 miles north of Denver. You want to take a look at the look at they get some raindrops on my windshield. Raindrops keep falling on my windshield. So anyhow, I might just do a marathon day. You know what? What time is it? What time is it? I might do an all dayer. You guys might be stuck with me all day because I don't think you know this, but I have this special thing where once you log into my thing, you can't log out. No, I don't really have that. I don't really have that. I could trap you. I could, I could be like Greg Abbott and humanly traffic you. Just kidding. I'm not into that kind of thing. Not into it. Anyhow, so Kinetics is choppy and it's jumpy. So I don't know. I think AT&T is probably saying you're using too much data. I'm gonna slow you down. How's the audio? Is the audio okay? Is it coming through like weird video but good audio at least? Could I at least have audio? Audio. Um, I just like most of the music I like. Laughing out loud. They bring them up by the busload. If they did it legally, the crops would not be harvested. The meat would not be cut. If they did it legally, okay, audio's good. Okay, at least we got half a show. Trump actually relaxed some of the laws when he was a major outbreak of the meatpacking industry. When there wasn't a thing there. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, if, oh, I don't know, the meatpacking companies paid a decent wage and were run in a way that, was safe and healthy, maybe they would have more people here that would actually apply for those jobs. They wouldn't have to rely on immigrants working in those jobs. Maybe. Just maybe. I don't give a fuck if you have to raise the price of your meat 50 cents because, or a dollar because you have to pay extra wages. The reason it takes so long, because what you were saying, yeah, Kenneth, I'm using 3 devices actually. Maybe I should, maybe I should shut the old laptop down. Because, well, actually, I don't know. Anyhow, I talk fast, but I move jerky. Thank you very much. Uh, my diction is quite good for a trucker. Well, yeah, as truckers go, I'm one of the better spoken ones. That's for sure. By golly. Uh, that's because I graduated, well, I made it through middle school. Got through middle school pretty good. I know you're joking. I'm joking. We're all joking. It's all one big joke. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we just joke about the truckers and how they can't talk. Oh, nah. See, I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyhow, I don't know. Maybe I should shut down the laptop, but it actually disconnected by itself already. So what I got going is I got the iPad and the iPhone going, and one of these days I'll have a better setup. One of these days. All right, Kiki Streets, thanks for being here. I appreciate. I guess I can't keep you as a hostage. My little thing doesn't work. But I'll be seeing you in the chat probably at the 3 on Hal's show and around. And I'll be back hopefully next Tuesday. And I might do an impromptu. You never know. So always, if you see me on there, just hop on. I might do an impromptu between now and next Tuesday. Uh, yes, there are some of us that have college degrees. Anyhow, 9 seconds away. You're almost there. You're almost there, Wes. And his Wes Webb, my cousin, was boss at Rockford Consolidated Freight. He was the boss man, huh? Good for him. Good for him. You're here in real time. So anyhow, what was I talking about? We were talking about something. We were talking about my internet connection. It's getting choppy, and maybe I need to shut down some stuff. I don't know. The only reason I have, see, I'm broadcasting on my iPad, and I like to run my iPhone because that's how I can see the chat on the iPhone. But on my iPad, I don't see the chat. Or it just pops up for like a second, and then it disappears, and I can't catch stuff. But on here, I can see it. So that's why I do that. Um, so I don't know. One of these days, I'll have a better system, I guess. Um, and what I was doing, I was just going through some Twitter stuff, and just making fun of it. But I think I lost my internet connection on this one, and I don't know if I want to redo it because it might make that feed even more choppy. So I think I'm going to shut down the old laptop. I'm going to shut her down, and we can see what's going on over here. Oh, look at the rain. Look at that rain. So it's getting a little bit rainy out here in Colorado. Where's everybody from? What's going on with your weather? Let's see. Jolie's in Indiana. I don't know if Jolie's still on. Webb, aren't you in Indiana? Or also? And then, or you're Texas, I guess. And Kiki Streets was upstate New York, but he left, so I can't find out his weather situation right now. But here's what's going on here, and just north of Denver, we got some rain. It's not too bad. It's it's nice to get a little bit of rain. It's supposed to be clearing up tomorrow, which is good because, like I said, I'm picking up a load tomorrow and heading over to Salt Lake. So I don't want to be, because I think a couple weeks ago, Wyoming and Montana, they already had some snowfall. So I don't like going through those areas in the snow. I try to avoid that if I can. I don't do chaining. I don't chain. I don't do any of that shit because I am old and I don't want to get a heart attack and die on the side of the road trying to chain up tires. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. If it's too dangerous to drive without chains, then it's too dangerous to drive. That's my motto. So whenever there's chain restrictions, if I can't find an alternate route, then I'll just park it and just wait it out. Wait out the storm. But we're not, there's no snow, I don't think, in the forecast. So should be good to go tomorrow at the Salt Lake. And then hopefully get something out of there on Saturday. I haven't looked at the load board since this morning, so West Webb, Rockford, Illinois, cool but beautiful. That's nice. I know Kenneth. I think Kenneth, you're down in Florida, and it's hot down there, huh? Oh boy. I've only been to Florida a couple of times. Let's see, twice as a tourist because I've gone to Disney World twice, and then I think only once as a truck driver, and that was right around the Orlando area that I delivered to. It was the Lowe's DC. I think it's just kind of south of Orlando. That was a few years ago. Yeah, Wes, and you see lots of others too. It's like they slide off the road. They fall into ditches. I see how they, or even if you're driving and it's snowing or raining and it's really slick, and they'll just buzz by you at like 80 miles an hour. And then you're like, dude, it's not worth it. Slow it down, man. Slow it down. And then you'll see trucks wrecked. I don't know if those are the same trucks or not, but you'll see trucks all wrecked up on the side of the road, flipped over and jackknifed and stuck in the mud or whatever. And you're like, see, you should just either slowed down or just parked it, because now you ain't getting there. You're crashing on the side of the road. You're not getting there now at all. You could have made it if you just slowed down, or even if you stopped and waited for the storm to let up. Maybe you would have been late, but you would have made it. The material, the goods would have got there. But now it ain't getting there. Not for a long time. Not until someone can come and pick it up, clean it up. And some of it's damaged, so it's not going to go. Probably most of it won't go. If it's spilled out on the road or whatever, they'll just have to send a new shipment of other stuff, of fresh new stuff, whatever it might have been. So my dad used to always tell me, better late than never. Better late than never. And that holds true in trucking, I think. If you're so worried about getting your load there and you're going to risk life and limb to get there, and you end up wrecking and you don't die, hopefully. I mean, drivers die, but I'm just saying that, you know, you wrecked your load, and now it ain't gonna get there at all. Whereas if you had taken your time, taken your precautions, maybe it would have been late, but it still would have got there. That's what these drivers need to learn. And these, I don't know. You say FedEx and UPS makes them do it. I don't know. Maybe they do, uh, but I guess they could fire them. I don't know. But if it was me, I would say fuck you. That's why I'm glad to be an independent contractor because I can just say fuck you. Um, West Webb says I've seen them pull up another FedEx truck and unload the one in the ditch they've got to deliver. Yeah, I've seen that too. That's FedEx. Those are like packages and stuff. That's a little bit different. But I was thinking about, if it's a load of potato chips or a load of canned beans or whatever, and that shit spills all over the floor, then they're just gonna throw that shit away, most of it, or someone's gonna come along and they'll give it to some charity or something. They'll pick through the good ones and the bad ones and or whatever. But yeah, like people's packages, of course they're gonna deliver those eventually. Kenneth Otto says it's 87 degrees Fahrenheit according to my air conditioning thermostat outside, 78 degrees Fahrenheit inside. What are you living in a sauna, Ken? I don't know. It's better than 87 though. So right now, I don't know what's the temperature. Let me look at my Apple smartwatch here. It says that it is 54 degrees right here. The high is supposed to be 66, the low 46. Right now it's raining, and it's supposed to just be cloudy at some point, and clean up tonight because it has like a cloud and like a little sun coming out from it. So I guess that's what that means. It's gonna be letting up. So anyhow, what else is going on in the world? Jolie says, I love when someone flies by me on the road like an idiot. I'm just putting along and then pull up next to them at a stoplight. I know. That happens to me all the time too. Like I'm in my truck, and like I said, in these states where the speed limit is higher, I don't go more than 70 on the interstate. And then there's some states like California where it's 55, so I might go up to 60 or 62, 63. That's about where I'll max out at. And I'll see trucks pass me by all the time. And then it seems like the next exit, I see him right there exiting, or there'll be some sort of road construction, and then we're right next to each other. I mean, it's like, I'm just like, I always think it's like the tortoise and the hare, and they're like fast, but then they're always stopping, or they're always, something's happening, and I'm always catching up to them anyhow. So it's kind of funny. But it is nice to be able to, like for me, I go 70, on these other states, and to me that's a perfect speed because I feel still that it's a safe speed. I don't feel like I'm overworking the truck, and my fuel mileage seems to stay about the same. It's probably a little bit lower than if I was going 55, but there's not much difference. I don't notice much difference in fuel consumption. But once I start going, because sometimes, I've done it just to check it out, or if I've been late, if I'm running a little late, I'll go 75 or maybe even 80 for a little while, but I don't do it for too much. But then I'll notice my fuel will just start, the fuel mileage just fucking goes out the window, and I start consuming all kinds of fuel. So I don't know, 70 seems to be kind of a sweet spot. It's like fast enough where you can still run at a good speed and get a good amount of miles in during the day, and you're not burning much more fuel than you would if you were going 55 or 60. And it just seems like it's not as rough on these engines. And I know these are big industrial sized engines. They're heavy duty, um, but still, I think going 70, averaging 70, is better than guys are company drivers and they don't give a fuck, you know. But I own this. I'm gonna fucking just keep this thing as long as I can, man. It's nice not having a truck payment. It's beautiful not having a truck payment. So I'm just gonna baby it and milk as many years and miles out of it as I can, you know. Yeah, well, Wes, that happens. You get behind the truck, you just gotta wait till it's safe to go around and go around. You know? Yeah, those dust storms are scary too. I've been in some dust storms where, I mean, you literally can't see beyond the front of your truck, and you don't want to go too slow because you don't want someone coming up behind you and rear-ending you, but you don't want to go too fast because if there's someone ahead of you, you don't want to just plow into them. It's so dark. It gets so dark you can't even see the shoulder of the road. So because I have this impulse or whatever, I want to pull over, but I can't see what's over there. So I don't know. I can't even see the shoulder. It's so bad. You don't know if it's a 12-inch shoulder or if it's a 6-foot shoulder or if there's a drop off. You know, so it's really scary, and you just have to keep going, keep your lights on and everything. But I try not to. I I don't know. I probably only go like maybe try to keep it at 55, and even that feels too fast for me in a storm like that where you can't see. But again, I don't want to go too slow because I know there's assholes coming behind me, and there will be trucks that will buzz on by you. Literally, a storm, you can see the end of your truck. The front of your grill. You cannot see past that. That's how bad these sandstorms are. That you get caught into, and some other 18-wheeler will buzz by you at 70 or 80 miles an hour, and you're like, oh my god. And sometimes, I mean, usually, if I can see it or if I get a report, then I'll avoid it. But there's just sometimes where you just get caught up in the shit. You just get caught up in it, and there's nothing you can do except try to ride it out and get through it. And it's scary as hell. It's probably the scariest thing is a dust storm or even thick fog. I hate fog. And sometimes you get into, that's another thing. You'll be driving along, everything's fine, and then you get into a fog bank. So it's not like you could, because some people will say, why do you drive through it? Why do you do it? Why don't you just stop? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, why don't you go fuck yourself? I mean, um, you don't know it's there sometimes. You're just driving, and all of a sudden you're in this thick fog bank. And I've been in fog banks where I can't see 5 feet in front of the grill, the truck. And then you're like, where am I? What do I do? Where can I pull over? And you just got to keep going and try to ride it out and try to get through to a clear area. It's scary. Fog and sandstorms are, I think, scarier than ice and snow. Um, Even ice and snow is scary too because that's slippery and everything. But at least then, you can go slow and you can at least see what's going on and try to get to a place where you can pull over and try to find a safe place to park or whatever. But if you get caught up in a really, really super thick fog or really thick, heavy sandstorm, God, that's horrible. That's horrifying. Worst. That's the worst. Um, so yeah. So And it's like, and then there's with wind. Sometimes, if you're pulling a 40,000 pound load, it could be windy as hell outside, and sometimes you can't really tell, especially if it's just a place where there's like low brush and you can't see stuff blowing around too much. But it might be really, really super windy, and you might not even know that you're all of a sudden in a really high wind area. And then you'll see trucks blowing over, and then people are like, well, why did they drive through truck and trailer and freight? So you were able to get through when it's 40, 50 mile an hour gust. You can get through that and not even know it. And then all of a sudden, once it starts getting into 60 and 70 and 80 mile an hour gusts, then you'll feel it, even if with a heavy load. and then a big gust of wind can come by. I've been driving a lot of times on Interstate 80 up here, and other places, where I'm just driving, and it's windy, but it's not windy enough because once I do, because they're good up there, they have signs. It'll say what the wind gusts are. Once I start seeing where it's like 60 miles and up, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm parking, I'm finding a truck stop, I'm finding a rest area, whatever. But when it's down at like 40 and 50, I'm still usually pretty good. But I've had it where I'm just driving, I'm in the truck lane, I'm in the far right lane, right? And all of a sudden a gust of wind will hit you, and it just moves truck and tractor and everything. It just literally will move me right over to the left lane. Nothing I can do about it. And thank God, knock on wood, whatever, there's never been a car next to me when that has happened. Because I would have just knocked that car right into that car and knocked him off into the median probably. So wind is scary too. And if I don't see that in the forecast, I can't route around it because everywhere's windy. And you start getting into those 60 mile an hour and above gusts, that's when I will park it. I'll just park it. I've sat at truck stops for 2 days waiting for the wind to die down. And there was no really alternate route that I could take. And the best thing was just to ride it out. I've done that. I've told my BOA that this is stop work authority. I'm not taking it. I'm not going through that wind, and unless you guys can find an alternate route for me, or reroute me, or whatever. They're like, no, you just stay there. I'm like, okay. But a lot of drivers, they won't do that. They won't exercise their stop work authority, and they would rather take a chance going through wind and getting blown over. I've seen so many trucks get blown over. It's ridiculous. The likes of which you've never seen. So anyhow, just looking at the feed on my iPhone, it is very, I don't know, would you call it choppy? Is it called that? It's weird. It's almost like a stop motion animation going on. But when I look at the live feed on my iPad, it's fine. But on there, it's like type of weird thing going on. So, I've heard about ice storms in Atlanta. I've never been through there with an ice storm. I've only been through Atlanta a couple times, and it was in the summertime. I don't really get out east too much. It's been a few years, ever since the pandemic. I've just stayed on the West Coast and western states. Let's count the states. Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming. Oh, Idaho. Wait. at 9. Or did I count this one? What was this guy doing? Just like, what were you doing? Okay, so out of the Western 11, I think I hit pretty regularly 9 of them. And sometimes I do go to Montana, so that'd be 10. What's the 11th one? Which one did I leave out? Did I leave one out? Did I say Nevada? The state that I live in? So I guess I hit all 11 of them, but that's pretty much it for the last few years. I don't like going back east though, because it takes too long to get back home. Seems like once you go, if I go out to the East Coast, then I get stuck in there with their loads, and it's hard to get something. You gotta like inch your way back. So like, I'll be on the East Coast, and then the best I can do is get maybe back to maybe Ohio or maybe Indiana or something, and then from there maybe I can get down into Houston, and then in Houston maybe I have to go down to Laredo and get something, and then from Laredo there's a lot of loads from Laredo that go to the West Coast, but it just takes so much time to get back. It's not like you could just, it'd be nice if there was just a load that went straight from New Jersey back to LA or something. That'd be great, but it doesn't work that way. You gotta like hopscotch your way back. And so that's another reason why I pretty much do the 11 Western, because I can just do like a circuitous, circuit. And I just kind of go around. Today's show brought to you by Pilot. It's not really, but I decided to say that. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe call it another fantastic show, I'm sure. I don't know. So I will see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. No, I might want to be ya. But you know what that means, right? When you hear that music, that means it's time. It's time to boogie. I'm like that. What's that? Dancing bear? Yeah. Buddy. So I'll be seeing you guys next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacifico, as we like to say, in the good old US of A. I'll be seeing you Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And who knows where I'll be coming from? Where will I be broadcasting from on Tuesday? It could be a rest area on the side of a highway. Or it could be a truck stop. Maybe like this beautiful Exxon that we're here today. Or it could be a Flying J, or a Pilot, or a Loves, or a TA, or a Petrol. Or maybe even, that's right, a Walmart parking lot. All right, everybody, thanks for being here. Really made my day. I will see ya Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, rain or shine. Alrighty. See you guys in the chats and other places on the internets. All right. Ciao.